Welcome, my friends and Lego fans, I guess is what you would be. And today's episode, we're gonna dive into a little bit of just the frustration of not having enough time to build Lego. So in the comments below, let me know. I mean, again, if you're not a builder and you're just here for pure entertainment, you're awesome. Love you. But part of it, again, the focus of the channel is mainly just my journey. And that's the purpose of journal entry is it's just my journey, the trials and tribulations, the good, the bad, the ugly of this plastic brick that we all love. I would say I'm prepping and super pumped for Brick World Chicago. The one thing I would say though is the timing of it is not great for me, and it's just one of those things. And this happened last year as well, where after like in January through probably early March, I would say I have a decent amount of time on my hands. I live in Chicago, so the weather is terrible. And so building is not a bad thing. Like there's always a night available, or there's really no yard work unless I'm shoveling snow, which is pretty rare actually. It only happens maybe once or twice a month tops, right? When you get bad snowstorms. Sometimes I'm just lazy and just let it go. But what I would say is that there's a lot of time and energy that can be spent, and I know I made fun of this quite a bit this last year, is that there's this build season, and I think that's kind of legit. Like if you live in Chicago, there's build season and not build season. I think if you're in a warmer climate, you probably just kind of have your life maybe set up where it's a little bit more consistent. But I would say in Chicago, you have to get outside when the time is good. Not only that, but the other complicating factor for like the last 2 weeks, I feel like we've been wrapping up the school season. The kids, there was one week, it was every night of the week I had something. So literally, even if I wanted to, then I didn't have any time. Then, I think it just becomes one excuse after another where, I just get tired and I'm like, do I even really want to build tonight? And I'm like, the answer is no. So then I don't do it. But the more that time flies, then you're not complete with your mock. So one of the things for Brickworld Chicago, I know this is supposed to be Darth Vader's castle on Mustafar. I'm going to modify it. And I think in my head, what I'd like to do, I'd actually like to maybe have multiple projects going. I think the reality is that I think bigger, and maybe I need to be more modular with my thinking. So my thought process, and because I don't want to not show this off at Brickworld Chicago, but there is just no way I'm going to have this big castle done by Brickworld Chicago. And part of it's because you just completely run out of gas. If I let it go past, I should have had most of it done by like February. You can do some detailing and different things, and I'm sure some folks can probably knock out things really quickly, but I'm a slow builder, and I just didn't, maybe it was just a learning thing for myself, but I'm a slow builder, so I'm not anywhere close to being done, and I don't really want to rush it either. So my plan is, I can still make it look really good, is just to do essentially the Sith caves. So if I leave it to just the Sith cave portion, I should have no problem, because over Memorial Day weekend, I have that's actually that's a 3-day weekend, but then I'm also taking Friday off. So I'll have Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that Monday. And actually my wife's out of town that week, so there's not going to be a lot of activities, really going on. So in general, I'll be able to make it work, no problem, just to kind of finish. And I have made a decent amount of progress. And I feel like some of the fixings are really the best part right now. So now I've got the bridge inside the cave. The lava looks great. There's some basics here. It's kind of getting prepped. And so I think I can just conceptualize where I'm going to just be able to put the castle on top. And the cool part is then I don't have to kind of like rush anything, and I can just modularize it and kind of add layers as we go. So this is going to be Darth Vader's castle. Phase 1 is the underground, right? It'll be underground. This is also the second layer is also somewhat essentially underground as well. And then the next layer up will be where the landing pad comes in. So for Darth Vader kind of comes in. So on this layer right here, he'll be coming in, and that I have actually that portion is where I started because I wanted to make sure I knew what it looked because I'm gonna need to plop it down. So I started with the building itself. So I thought, oh, no problem. I'll just kind of build this out, plop that on, and I'll be able to build the castle in no time. And maybe in May, maybe at the end of the month, I'll be like, man, I'm rocking and rolling. I'm worried I'm going to run out of parts too. I have a feeling that's another problem. That's what slows me down is trying to find parts all the time because I'm so disorganized. Is absolutely just crushing me. So I'm realizing I'm not a professional mock. I'm not super fast. I have kind of a concept of what I want to do, but I almost would have needed to have it like instructions in book to be able to get this thing done. Plus the other part it's frustrating, and I think it's really hurting my content, is that this is kind of looming over me, and I'm not building sets right now. So, but there are a lot of sets I want to finish, like the Inquisitor shuttle. So be on the watch. I'm going to be working on some content there. There's Boba Fett's, the Slave One microfighter. I want to finish that. I've got a bunch of other things going on. So it's been really slow going this last week. So thanks for hanging in there for those that are still watching. I think my my viewership, like as soon as you stop posting regularly, it's crazy how fast everything kind of dives in the algorithm. And that's fine. I'm here for my journey, and we'll pick up the pieces, so to speak, and get right back at it. So I'm super excited about Brickworld Chicago. Stay tuned. I'm going to do like a little update video and keep that series going. I think that'll be something you'll see videos probably, once every other week. There may be a weekly for now up and through Brickworld Chicago. I'd like to get to the point where I'm kind of done with the caves and have it be that Sith cave, and with the intention of putting a castle on top. So with that, that is the main topic I wanted to just touch on is, what's frustrating you out there? Is it just that there's not any great sets that are resonating, which Lego did release a whole bunch of sets. I did get excited about May the 4th. It wasn't the best May the 4th by far, but I would also say that some of the sets coming out are kind of lame, like those Lego mechs are kind of iffy at this point. Which is good. I actually like it when Lego makes sets that I'm not into, because it just saves me money essentially. But like Yavin 4, $160, I'm gonna want that set because that one has all the feels for me. I love buildings. I love all the figures. It's really kind of the perfect set for me. And that's one that's going to be high on my list. So I have a couple big ones on my list. It's going to be hard to try to figure out how to afford some of these. Maybe I need to work harder in my real life so that I can afford it even easier. That's another thing. It's a whole nother topic. How do you budget Lego? That's the other thing too. So let me know in the comments, what topics do you want to talk about or hear me talk about? I'm very much open. I have some ideas. I think next week or in the coming weeks, I'm going to do something about Lego conventions. How did you get into Lego? All those types of curiosity questions that I think are fun for anybody to go over. So with that is it for this episode of Journal Entry. It is what frustrates you about the Lego and trying to fit time into your schedule. That's the other problem too. Man, I thought I was done with this episode, but it just keeps going. I can just keep talking. Is that there's just other hobbies, right? Like I play pickleball. I, do stuff with the kids and the family. I went to Lizzo this week. I probably should have mentioned that. That was the having something on a school night. It was like Lizzo Tuesday, band concert on Wednesday. Thursday it was like family. There was a family music show. And then Friday, I literally passed out and couldn't even lift a single Lego brick. So, by the way, Lizzo's pretty good if she's coming to a stadium, or, well, it wouldn't be a stadium, but if she's coming to a venue near you, she's definitely worth. I am not in her target demographic. I think the B word was said maybe about 1,000 times. And, it was it wasn't really the most family wholesome thing, but, if our kids are into it and they're listening to it on the radio anyways, that we just want to be there to support them and make sure that they understand that they're a little on the wild side or whatever, and just kind of like, let them experience it with us versus like sneaking around us and doing it anyways. So with that, thank you so much for joining me on this journey of life and Lego, and we'll catch you on the next journal entry. Bye for now.